In the years since the highly publicized legal battles between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, the question of whether the former couple might ever meet again has hovered at the edges of public curiosity. Though both actors have largely stepped back from directly acknowledging each other in recent months, the cultural imprint of their relationship and the long litigation that followed still sparks speculation. As 2025 unfolds, the entertainment world continues to wonder, could circumstances, personal, legal or professional, ever bring Depp and Heard face to face again? At present, there is no concrete indication that such a meeting is planned or likely. Both actors have moved in markedly different directions, professionally and geographically. Depp revitalized after the 2022 defamation trial and has returned to major film projects, has immersed himself in music, artistic collaborations, and selective acting roles. Meanwhile, Heard has focused on rebuilding her life away from the US spotlight, purportedly prioritizing privacy, motherhood, and independent film work while residing predominantly outside the mainstream Hollywood circuit. Yet, in the entertainment industry, finality is seldom absolute. History offers countless examples of public figures whose paths unexpectedly intersect after periods of acrimony. While this does not mean a meeting between Depp and Heard is imminent or even plausibly, it raises the question of what, if anything, might create a scenario where the two find themselves in the same place at the same time. One of the most straightforward possibilities lies in the legal sphere. Though their most contentious litigation concluded in 2022 with a settlement agreement, celebrities of their stature often maintain extended legal connections, contractual issues, residual settlements, or civil matters that might require procedural follow-ups. However, experts generally stress that such matters rarely necessitate in-person encounters between former partners, especially when their legal teams act as intermediaries. Given the intensely adversarial nature of their past proceedings, it is far more likely that attorneys and representatives would handle any lingering administrative obligations without requiring direct communication between Depp and Heard. Another avenue for speculation is the professional landscape. Could a film festival, industry event, or award ceremony someday bring them into the same orbit? While theoretically possible, insiders view this scenario as exceptionally unlikely. Heard's independent film work has led her to smaller, international festival circuits, while Depp's re-emergence in major studio conversations and high-profile music endeavors positions him in very different artistic circles. Moreover, both would presumably take precautions to avoid overlapping at public events where media attention could reignite old tensions. Still, the entertainment industry is a fluid ecosystem. Should either actor choose to shift their professional trajectory, say by embracing unexpected collaborations, activism, or unconventional artistic projects, their paths could edge closer. Even then, deliberate coordination would almost certainly be avoided. Both Depp and Heard, as well as their respective public relations teams, understand the intense scrutiny a shared appearance would generate. In an era where every movement of a public figure is instantly dissected online, the incentive to avoid renewed dramatization runs high. The personal dimension is, unsurprisingly, the least predictable. Human lives evolve in non-linear ways, and reconciliation, whether symbolic or private, sometimes emerges years after deeply painful conflicts. Still, those close to both parties have emphasized their desire to move forward independently, focusing on their careers, personal growth, and, in Heard's case, raising her young daughter. Given the emotional and reputational stakes that defined their past, intentional personal contact appears remote. Even so, observers note that time has a way of softening public narratives, if not private wounds. If anything, the most likely catalyst for any future intersection between Depp and Heard might simply be circumstance. Hollywood is a global industry, but also a surprisingly small one. A charity gala, a chance encounter at a European premiere, or even overlapping travel schedules could theoretically create an accidental meeting. Such a moment would undoubtedly ignite global headlines, but there is no evidence that either actor seeks or anticipates such a situation. For now, the public seems largely divided between those who hope for a definitive closure between the two and those who prefer that their story fade into the background of cultural memory. Social media discussions continue to analyze their trials, their past, and the broader debates around domestic conflict, media bias, and the boundaries of celebrity storytelling. Yet, curiously, even among supporters of either actor, there is little appetite for further direct confrontation between them. The prevailing sentiment suggests that both deserve the chance to build lives free from the relentless glare of their shared history. In truth, the question of whether Johnny Depp and Amber Heard will ever meet again may ultimately be less important than the path each is forging independently. Depp continues his creative renaissance, appearing rejuvenated by projects that allow him to channel his artistic instincts outside the courtroom. Drama that once dominated his public image, Heard, for her part, appears intent on nurturing a quieter, more grounded existence, one defined less by global controversy and more by personal resilience and new beginnings. Speculation will undoubtedly continue, as it does with all high-profile cultural narratives, But at present, all signs suggest that any future meeting between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard remains uncertain at best and perhaps unnecessary for either of them to move forward. Whether their paths ever cross again may depend less on public expectation and more on the natural unpredictability of two evolving lives once bonded by love, later divided by conflict, and now set on separate trajectories, buddies. I hope you all are doing well. Please friends, subscribe the channel and share with your beloved ones. I wish you best of luck, wishing you excellent time ahead and have a nice day friends. I will see you next time.